Hello, I'm Chip. This is
I'm
Andrea. We're from Team thisABILITY Adventure Racing and thisABILITY Adventures. And we are really excited that you're interested in doing virtual courses or eventual kind of adventure race-like courses. We started, as an adventure race team, we love adventure racing and we do many races each year. And then this damn virus hit and we had no races. And so we decided to launch thisABILITY Adventures as a way of having a safe adventure race-like experience. We were calling it adventure challenges since it's not really a race. There's no mass start, mass finish. We're not doing permits and stuff, but every other aspect of it is very similar to adventure racing. We really wanted to duplicate the adventure racing experience. So people who are training up for big expedition length races or championships or anything like that, they can use our races as a test for that. So let me get into the basics of the course. Typical adventure racing always has that orange and white flag. That flag gets put out there by the race director, maybe days or weeks ahead of time. Usually there's a permit. Some government entity knows where all the flags are. Emergency personnel knows where the flags are. And then after the course, all the flags get cleaned up. So that's what is not allowed right now with COVID. We really can't, state parks, things like that, they don't give permits just because of the group nature of adventure racing. So what we've done is we've taken that concept of having a flag that you're looking for, and we just try to find really interesting things out in the woods and document it using GPS. So for example, a really odd tree that maybe it has a bunch of different trunks or a huge rootstock in a certain area, or it could be anything like a historic point, like earthworks or a redoubt, anything like that. A cannon on the side of the road that's there in a tour battlefield. We try to make it so that you're navigating to a point, and once you get to that point, you know you found it because there's an object there and a clear description. So that's kind of the bait. That's really the only difference between our races and regular adventure races. You're going to get a set of maps with checkpoints. We have the UTM grids on there so that you can plot points. The maps are kind of a hybrid topo map. We're using Cal Topo, so you have a we use it's complicated, but we make the map so you can see a lot of the terrain, you can see the roads. It's pretty accurate. A lot of the trails are already on there, but in situations where there are no trails or we found a road that needs to be added to the map, we have added that on there. All of the parts of the races have all been vetted by either us or one of our team. And so we pretty are sure that you're not going to have any problem if you do one of our courses, unless you navigate in an area that we didn't think you would navigate. You might run into something that was unexpected. Let's see. Let's get into the types of points.
Well, maybe, but the other thing that makes it a lot like adventure racing is we will get to score your points. Like, you won't be turning in a passport where you've punched the CP, but when you turn in your GPX file, we're going to line that up with the base map, and you're going to see your overlay of your track on our maps, and you'll be able to see if you got the point or not by whether your track hit the mark or not. So that's pretty cool. That makes it a lot like adventure racing, because now we know which points you actually got and which ones you didn't, and then you'll be sent back your score, and you can even be ranked. So all of that's up to you, though. You can get your maps, and Chip will tell you about the points, but you can decide how much or how little of it you want to do. You can decide if you want to send in your GPX file or not. So I think it's going to be fun.
But so the GPX file is basically, it comes from either your smartwatch or your smartphone. It's as long as you track yourself. You could use Strava, which is a really popular app that you can just use a Facebook login or create a login. It's perfectly free. Any smart device can use it. But also watches such as Garmin or Sunto or Polar, all of those, if you go to your app, you can download the GPX file. All we need you to do is really send that in, and we need to know your total race time, your total duration of the race. And then that's how we rank you, because we can look at your GPX track, like she said, if it touches the checkpoint, you get the points. We're going to get into the types of points in a little bit. It also is really fun because if you get lost and go in circles, we can see that. But the beauty of this is we're going to send you your track overlaid on the map. So it's really fun because in most adventure races, you wander around and try to find the checkpoint, but you don't really you don't see your track overlaid on the race maps. So we're giving you that back. We email it to you in a PDF format. So you really get something that's kind of fun to review after the fact.
Yeah, you can study like what you did right, what you did wrong, and you learn something every time you do one of these sorts of things.
Yep. Okay, so part of our races also, we wanted, or our courses or our challenges, we wanted them to be accessible to people who are new to adventure racing, but we also wanted them to be really hard for the people who are training up for an expedition length race or national championships. So the way we solved this problem, we came up with ideas for 3 different types of checkpoints. We'll start with the first one. We're calling them endurance points. These are ones that are always on the trail or on a road. No, you do need to know map and compass navigation because you're going to be at a trail intersection and need to know, do I go right or left or straight or etc. So you need to have general navigation ability, but you don't have to worry about like trying to hold a compass bearing through the woods or through mud or cutting corners and all of that. This is perfect for somebody that does a lot of other sports such as a triathlon, or just if you're a trail runner or if you're a mountain biker, you're new to adventure racing, you watch the Eco Challenge, you want to learn about it. And if you do not have a navigator, you're brand new to navigation, I would say sign up for the endurance course. All it really means is it's the same exact maps as the adventure course and the pro course. It's just we've removed all of the other checkpoints off the map. So your maps aren't cluttered with checkpoints that you're not going to be going for. But that being said, if you want to give it a shot, if you're pretty confident with a map and compass, then go ahead and just sign up for the adventure course. It's the same price. The only difference is the fact that the adventure course maps are going to have the adventure points on there. The pro points aren't plotted. You're going to have to plot those yourself. And we're going to get into that in a second. So, okay, so adventure points are for the person new to the course, new to endurance points. New to the course, great exercise. If the course is a 10-hour course, you'll be done in 5 hours or 6 hours because you're not going off trail. You're just riding your bike on trails and running on trails. So it's really fast. Great entry level. The adventure course. This is for folks that they have done adventure races before. They know map and compass. They can get off the trail, bushwhacking through stuff. You've got gators. You're used to going through briars. If you got lost, you know how to find your way out, using either handrails or guardrails or the last known location, that type of thing. That'll give the real adventure race experience of trying to find checkpoints. But if you're not a navigator, this is a good course for you. Like if you're pretty good with a map and compass, but you're not the normal navigator. The navigators of the world, you're going to love the pro course. All the pro points have to be plotted. Most of them, we're trying to design the courses so that you have to find clues along the way, and then using those clues will give you the UTMs, and then the UTMs get plotted on the clock while you're on the course. And especially with Washington's washout, we did that, and it's really, really neat because you're mid-course and you're sweating and you're tired, and now you have to try to figure out where these points are and plot. The other thing is as you plot the points along the way, it's going to change your course design a little bit. So it's not like a typical race. You get your maps and you mark them up for an hour and a half, and then you never have to do anything to your maps again until the end of the race. Our courses, we're trying to make it so you have to keep doing course in the pro course. Whatever you thought you were going to do when you left the start line is going to change during the race or during the challenge. So pro points would be good if you're a navigator or if you're training up for an expedition. I highly recommend getting out there, starting early and going really fast and trying to clear it. We are trying to make it so it is difficult to clear all the points, because we do want to make this so that the top teams can really use our course as training. And so we don't want really the course to be clearable by the average person. If you're going for the pro course. If you do the adventure course or the endurance course by itself without the pro points, all of our courses are clearable. So let's talk about registration and what you get in the mail. So first I'd go to our website, thisABILITYadventures.com. Did I get that right? Go to our website. We have right now there's only 2 races on there, but there will be more in the future. Read up about them and figure out which ones you want to do. Check it out. If you end up selecting one, you're going to, right now we're using Run Sign Up, but in the future we might use different ones. But once you sign up, we basically get notified, and then we're going to put a race packet in the mail for you after maybe a day or 2. We're going to get it in the mail. Of course, the United States Post Service takes like 10 days to send something 2 blocks. But either way, you will eventually get your race maps, and in that packet we're going to give you race maps that have been printed on a professional color printer They are on Right on Rain paper or an equivalent, so the paper can get wet, it doesn't tear easy. It's really good, basically the same quality that you would get from a normal adventure race. If there's multiple maps, there's going to be an overview map that shows how the other maps all fit together on the page. We do print the maps so that they are one-sided, so if you want to lay them all out on the ground and see how the maps fit together, you don't have to worry about flipping the map back and forth. So it means that there's a lot of paper, but it's for real racing, I think it's important to do that. Sometimes we do have an overview of the course. So for example, we might have the main maps printed on 1/10,000th scale, but then I'll print another map that's like 1/24,000th scale, giving you an overview, for example, on a bike section where you're covering a lot of territory. You're gonna say something?
Well, just if you're not sure which one you want to do, or if it's for you at all, just contact us. We'll be glad to talk to you, tell you about the courses and, our experience getting started. And yeah, just email us and we'll get back to you if you want some guidance on which ones to do.
Yep. Also in the packet, you are going to have a clue sheet. That's going to give you every single checkpoint. It's going to tell you the elevation based on Cal Topo. Every time we plot a UTM, you're going to see it gives you the elevation. So since there's no checkpoint out there, we figured we go ahead and give you that elevation so it's easier to find stuff. You're going to have the clue. We try to do our best to have like creative clues. Some of them are kind of fun, but we want to make sure that when you find the point, you know that you're there. Let's see.
We can't forget the Zoom party at the end.
Yep, we're not there yet.
Okay.
Okay, so since we have 3 different points, we have endurance points, adventure points, and pro points. The endurance points are 3 points, the adventure points are 4 points, and the pro points are 5 points. That's going to be listed on the clue sheet. So as you're going down, you have to kind of make a decision. The pro points are hard and they're going to take time. So you're going to have to really look at your course and see, are we going to be able to get back to the start finish in time? Is it worth the 5 points to go out and get it? Or do you go for a 5 point and give up 2 3-pointers, or do you go after the 2 3-pointers? So all of that is part of how we design our courses. Also in the map packet, you are going to have a race details. So we are going to try to record a race brief for each of the races, but we also want to have a printed race details for you for each of our courses. So that way, for example, if there's a $5 fee to put a boat in the water at the visitor center, that type of information you would have in print in front of you while you're racing, while you're on the course. And then we also put a little a Ziploc, it's not Ziploc brand, but it's basically a resealable 11x14 baggie, so that if you don't have a map case, you've got something that you can use while you're on the course to keep your maps organized and dry, and not, flying off your bike as you're riding. So I think that's everything that's in the packet. So it's pretty much, we mail that out and you've got everything you need. Of course, like she said, if you have any questions, just email us. Let me see, anything else?
The Zoom party.
And the Zoom party. Okay, tell us all about the Zoom party.
Well, just we really appreciate our camaraderie with the friends we've made adventure racing. And since we can't really do that right now, at the end of each virtual challenge competitive period, it'll probably usually range between a month and 3 months. Whenever we close that race, we're going to schedule a Zoom call for everybody that participated, that wants to chat with everybody else, and we can share everyone's results. We may pull up different examples of ways people did certain things, and that's always fun to talk about after the race, so we're pretty excited about that.
Yep. One thing I forgot about that's in the race packet, we realized that a lot of people that are going to sign up for these virtual challenges are solo racers because maybe they can't get a team because of this COVID thing or whatever. But since there's going to be people out on the course that are solo, we decided to put safety maps inside your race packet. And what this is basically, it's right now we're doing a black and white. Basically, it's a duplicate copy of the maps that we're giving you, but the pro points are actually on there. They are sealed in an envelope, and so the racers aren't allowed to open it. This is something you would hand to your emergency contact. Let's say you're telling your spouse, hey, I'm going to go do this course. It's going to take me 10 hours. If I don't call you by 9 p.m. and you can't get in touch with me, pop open the packet and you can see where I am. You can see the course. You can't see where I am, but you can see the course, so that if emergency personnel got involved, at least you got to have a search area that you can look in. So that way, I don't know, we just thought that was a responsible way to keep people out there, keep them safe while they're on a course by themselves. So the next up, I had it in my head and now I forgot. Oh, mandatory gear. Okay. Obviously, this is a virtual race. We're not going to be checking your gear, but what we highly recommend you do is use these as training as if you were in the United States National Championships or an expedition. Carry your space blanket, rain jacket, thermal gear, extra food, water filter. If you have like a spot tracker or where's my spot? One of these things, the GPS tracker, carry headlamps, backup batteries. Basically go to USARA's website and look at their mandatory gear list for their races and basically take all of that and whatever else you want to take in addition to that. Of course, on the bike, spare tubes, spare tools, all of that kind of good stuff. On a lot of our courses also, especially Washington's washout, we have a pub stop right in the middle of it. So take a bike lock and lock your bike up so you can go in and not worry about your bike. It's a 1 hour pub stop along the way. So take a bike lock.
We'll let you know if you should take a bike lock.
That would be in the race specific
To me,
details.
that is taking the kitchen sink with you.
Yeah.
But in that particular challenge, a lock is good. Not all of them though. Don't take extra weight just for extra weight, but take it for training's sake.
Yes. So basically, go, especially if you're solo, have all of the gear needed to keep yourself safe while you're on the course. Don't assume you're going to be in and out in the 10 hours. Something always goes wrong. You guys know this. There's always that bump, scrape, scratch, dislocated finger, whatever. Have a first aid kit. Be safe. Full battery on the cell phone. All the normal things you would do in a regular adventure race, please do for our adventure courses. We just want to keep people safe and let you have a lot of fun outdoors. So I think that's it. Are we going to cover everything?
I think that's it. Give it a try. It's fun.
Give it a try. Check it out. We have most of the information we just told you and some is on our website. And so go in there and check that out and let us know if you have any questions. So thanks a lot for watching.